Alright. What's up, guys? My name is Adrian.
Nate.
We're Deviant Reacts, and today we're going to be reading some comments from Ruby chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. Why not 3 and 4? Because the video would be too long.
Okay. Enough said.
And I've already read through 3 and 4.
Oh, okay.
So you can read 3 and 4 on your own time.
Okay.
But we're just going to be going through 5 through 8 together. Right, starting with 5, because why not?
Because why not?
Why not? Alright, so. I may fall, but like this, it won't be Adam by your hand. Yank said, I may fall.
Oh, okay. I was like, huh?
The song that I may fall. I may fall, but not like this, it won't be. And then Adam's by your hand.
Okay. Pieces of the puzzle are coming together.
Ironic that Oscar's shouldering a backpack while Penny is a subject of discussion. 2 or 3 semesters and months of travel. Everyone's probably a year older.
Okay.
Understandable. Yeah, I was guessing like a year, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
Ruby and Oscar are close in age. I love seeing them interacting alone. Winky face.
No.
But we also gotta kind of question, like, there's also Ozpin there too.
Awkward.
Also, Ozpin's in the back, just creepy face.
Got himself some watcher.
Yeah. You ruined the show for me.
Sorry. Oh.
You guys seem surprised by Oscar's outburst, but you gotta remember this kid is a 15-year-old farmhand suddenly thrust into the middle of a near war and just learned that magic is real. He has no professional combat training other than what Ozpin has given him, or exposure to the horrors that Team Ruby and Junior have.
You're okay.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I understand that. The whole Oscar outburst thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He's still.
Where the other team members have had like a gradual, has had more of a gradual time to kind of like take things in. While he was just like thrust in. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ruby's and Oscar's exchange is one of my favorite moments in this volume. It's a great emotional moment and shows off Ruby's characters nicely. I wish the series had more of these kinds of moments. Yeah. I also think one of the, I want to say, problems that Ruby has had, that if you were to compare it to like anime, right?
Yeah.
Is that anime has like usually would have like 10 episodes of filler, like that kind of like beef up a character's like past or personality and stuff like that and interactions, and then it would have like another main episode and stuff like that. And Ruby doesn't have that, and I understand why he doesn't, because he doesn't have that type of a budget and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like they do have just 12-ish or so episodes to kind of pack everything in, which kind of leads the whole filler out. So you can't really have a lot of these moments where you kind of understand a person's character.
Especially when they kill off the character.
And yes, I've been waiting for this. Yes, I've been waiting for this.
Oscar!
Yes, Glenn! Alright, or chapter 6.
Who drew a worm in my apple? Is it you?
I did not.
No? Oh.
No.
Like it. Sorry.
That's a character. Man, why does everyone think my dude, the barkeep, is peeling potatoes? He's carving wood sculptures. You can see the finished ones next to him on the bar.
Nah, he's peeling potatoes.
He's peeling potato sculptures.
Oh, God. I seen that comment, too, and I was like, oh, he is. He is.
Yeah, he is.
Poor bartender. What bartender, too, is peeling potatoes?
You're right. I mean, you know.
I gotta put this in a drink later.
maybe he offers side dishes like fries and stuff.
Okay, well, maybe like the cook's job. I mean,
maybe there's not that much business, so he has to keep labor all to himself.
I guess.
Fun fact: the barkeep Crow talks to in his section of this chapter is voiced by Nick Landis, aka Lanapor of Team 4-Star. His voice work here sounds near identical to his portrayal of Piccolo in DBZ Abridged.
Whoa! I thought he kind of sounded familiar.
Mm-hmm. A group of ravens is called an unkindness. I think they transferred that onto Raven's character. Makes sense.
Alright, okay.
Crow said his name came from being unlucky like a crow. Maybe Raven's name came from being a B word. That's what
all right, I could buy that, definitely.
Be weird. Remember in the end of Volume 3 when Ruby left Yang's room, she said to Yang, "I love you," but got no answer for her. The "I love you" for Yang in this episode may be seen like an answer to Ruby that she never gave her back then. Funny fact, Crow wants to be around his family, but cannot because of his semblance.
Yeah.
When on the other end, Raven got a semblance that allows her to be by the side of her family, but doesn't want to.
Not to. Yeah. What a B word.
B word. It's strange when you think about it, but Crow looks after and interacts more with Ruby than Yang. Maybe because Ruby is not blood related to Crow, but Yang is. I also feel like it could be because Ruby kind of acts more like Crow.
Yeah.
While Yang may act like her mother.
Some strong words, Adrian.
I mean, Ty kind of... Oh, no, Ty didn't say exactly that, but he says you do have some traits of your mother.
Yeah.
Every time I see the group hug, I'm confronted with how tiny Weiss is. She's wearing high heels and still has to go under on her tiptoes to hug Yang.
Ew.
Yang even has her knees bent. Yang is a beast of a character.
Yeah, she is.
Especially, you can say that about Ruby too. Like, you don't really know how like tiny Ruby is until like she's standing next to all the other characters. Like literally every other character, I think, is taller than her. Maybe except Oscar. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But like when she's alone, you'd be like, okay, you know, she's normal.
Yeah, and then
when she's standing
like, oh my god,
Frodo. Raven has every right to question Oz. Raven knows too much for her own good. Somehow Raven learned the true nature of the enemy, and now Raven wants nothing to do with Ozpin's war anymore. Crow's clueless about Salem. He knows nothing about her, and that's the way Ozpin wants it. Well, okay, he knows about Salem though, right? Yeah, because they were talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe not of her true nature, or not everything about Salem, but he does know she exists. I believe. Pretty sure. I think it's not Ozpin. It's not that Ozpin. Wait, hold on. I think it's not Ozpin told him to do all the things Team Ruby did. More like he influenced them to do so. Just like Pyrrha, Ozpin gave them a choice. It's all about choices. The thing is, Ozpin gave them choices that they would be doomed anyway, even if they chose the safest way. That is what Raven felt, in my opinion. I can see a hint that Raven actually knows about Ozpin's secret. That's why she left the team and her family hiding from Ozpin in Salem. Keep it in mind that Ravens basically thought it's impossible to defeat Salem, and she knew one or two of Ozpin's secrets.
Okay.
Did you notice no fauna sign at the bar? I did not.
I did not. How rude.
I don't like that guy anymore.
The guy peeling potatoes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seems like an aggressive type of guy. Doesn't like faunus, throws knives at people who know
peels
other people.
Potatoes.
Yeah, peels potatoes.
Just saying. Can't trust those kind of
Sketchy
bartenders. Yeah.
Raven's character is pretty interesting, and even after more information about her is revealed in later episodes, her actions are still pretty complex and hard to understand. It's going to be very important to remember what Raven said next volume in the first few episodes. I suggest you keep in mind the specific quote: "She can't be stopped, she can't be reasoned with, and she will not stop until humanity crumbles at her feet." This is something that will help you have a deeper understanding of her character and why she might have made the choices she did. I hope this isn't too spoilery, but it is something you might want to keep back of your mind. I don't think it's too spoilery.
No.
Just, Salem.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Beware!
Salem is basically the ultimate boss. You know how the ultimate boss is like, you can't defeat me.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And you just gotta get stronger. You gotta do all the side quests.
Down.
Yeah. You gotta do all the side quests.
Side quests.
Yay, we finally got Team Rui. Because Blake's not there. So it's just
Rui.
RWY. Which is not horrible.
Holy moly.
The thing I love most about this episode is the reunion. I also agree that I loved how supportive Weiss was of Yang this episode. In my opinion, it's mostly because she cares about her friends, but also because she understands complicated familiar or family relationships. I think the way Ruby reacts makes a lot of sense because of how she left things off with Yang, as well as Yang, in my opinion, being one of the few people Ruby is able to be fully vulnerable with. Also, the last interaction we saw between them was Ruby saying "I love you" and Yang not responding. I like to think this is as her responding "I love you" back. Weiss's hesitance is because, in my opinion, of her own experiences and feeling separate from others because of most people in Atlas not wanting to use her. However, them accepting her into the hug, in my opinion, cements them as family rather than only friends. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you. And yeah,
mouthful, bro.
It was. I don't know how many breaths I took to say that, but yeah,
6.
I definitely do think Weiss is hesitant to join. Still kind of shows her. I don't know how to explain it. I guess her uneasiness to be, I get passionate or something like that. Because like if you really felt like super comfortable and stuff like that, you would go in for hug no matter what.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But she still feels like Yang and Ruby should have her time, and then if they want to, just let her in.
No, they're all family. God damn it.
Well, now they're
They always were.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy moly.
No, it's the same thing.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my goodness.
A bird by any other name would sing as sweet. I think that's the phrase that I was trying to think of in the beginning.
Oh.
Because I think that's what the title was. A bird by the name. Pretty sure. I'm not sure at all.
Pretty sure, not sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Raven's point is, in the past, Team Stark was exactly the person Ozpin. Raven's point is in the past. Team Stark was exactly the people Ozpin bring to the war with Salem. Raven, Crow, and probably Ty knows about her. Maidens, relics, and all the other stuff. Maybe even Summer died in the battle against Salem's forces, fighting for Ozpin. Raven trying to warn her daughter from becoming Ozpin's new pawn, because Raven believes Salem can't be beaten and all Ozpin's allies would die in vain. You can re-listen to the sacrifice song. It's Raven's words to Ozpin. Yeah, so she cares for Yang enough to tell Yang, hey, don't trust Ozpin, don't even fight for him, because you fighting for him while not knowing everything about his ideals or what he's fighting for, then you're just basically dying in vain.
Word.
I think.
There's more to him than meets the eye.
Yeah. And you need to know all your facts before you start fighting.
That's right.
Before you start picking a side. Or
That's right.
Even if you pick a side in Raven's case. Raven didn't tell them much in terms of facts. What she did do, and what I think is her goal, was to prime Yang and Weiss to be suspicious and resentful of Ozpin. She wants Yang to join her, partially because she cares, but also to take her away from Crow and Oz and Tai. Raven's a very angry, bitter person, and she also finds slaughtering an entire villages and leaving the survivors to be eaten by Grimm to be a fine and profitable pastime. I like her. I take her criticisms of Oz with a big helping of salt. Yeah, you know what? When you put it that way, it makes her out to be a lot more horrible person than I originally thought.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I thought she was bad, but then when you put it that way of her, that's like her pastime is slaughtering a village and leaving the survivors to fend off Grimm.
Die by Grimm.
I was like, okay, you know what? That doesn't sound all that great.
Not Mother of the Year, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. You should definitely take what she has to say with a grain of salt.
You know, with a big old spoonful of salt.
Alright, now, chapter 7.
Seven.
Seven.
Oh, sorry, continue.
Ozpin. I gave Crow and Raven the ability to turn into birds. Also Ozpin casually reveals he created the maidens.
That's so bitch.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they didn't really react to that information. I don't know if we reacted to that information too.
Yeah, I think we did.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I don't think they got a full grasp of what the fuck was really being said.
Well, wait, did they? No, they know about the maidens.
They know about the
because
maidens.
Crow told them about the maidens. But they didn't even ask any questions after he just said like, "Hey, I gave him powers," or like why you did it, or stuff like that. Because in the story, is basically these 4 people came to help him out, and stuff like that. And he gave him powers. Generally, but
Just
that's
like
that's the story.
And one's red and one's blue and yellow, huh? Just saying.
It's Morphin' time. But yeah, I want to know what the actual the true story about it is, not just like the story that's been told. Because usually the fairy tales are like kind of influenced by the person
But
telling
the real
it.
story's dark.
Yeah.
The real story went like this. He was a pimp, right?
Oh god, we're ending it there.
Oh, okay, right. It's dark.
Gosh. I don't know how you guys would survive without energy drinks.
Ah, yes, I know. I got one right now.
I don't know either, actually.
He got some Powerade.
We got some rain.
He got some rain. I got a Rockstar, but I mean.
Oh, please don't drink Rockstar.
No?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but Leonardo Lionheart was supposed to be the Cowardly Lion. Ogden's obviously the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Glenn is the Good Witch.
Yes.
Crow's the Scarecrow.
Uh-huh.
Ironwood is the Tin Man.
Yep.
I'm not sure who's Dorothy. Some say it's Ruby. Some say it's the Headmaster of Vacuo. And Salem is the Wicked Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've come to those conclusions. I kind of want to know what would Ty be considered anything, or maybe like Raven, since they were. Raven was part of the circle, so you could kind of argue that she could be one of the things in like the whole Wizard of Oz story.
Ty's a munchkin. And the lollipop gives, the lollipop gives. Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
And then, I'm not sure if was Ty considered a part of the circle. Maybe? Because he's not in the circle now. Or at least it doesn't seem like he's in the circle now.
I don't think he was in the circle. I think he was just part of most of the people that were in the circle.
Or maybe he left after maybe something happened to Summer.
I don't know.
I don't know. Something I didn't think about yet. I forgot how much filler Volume 5 had. I was just talking about fillers. Here we go. The big secret of the old man is finally out. Or is it?
Dun, dun, dun. No, that's
Is
the
it?
story I was about to tell.
Oh,
Once upon
no.
a time in Compton.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry. Alright, I'm done.
You have to look at this from Raven's perspective. In her eyes, it's a curse because it means she's permanently connected to the war against Salem, despite obviously wanting to just leave and take care of her tribesmen, the people who raised her. Think of her thought process. Oz did this.
Oz's dentist?
Yeah. Oz did this to us without trying it on anyone else first. Then told us we had to do this thing without telling us the whole story about who Salem really is. And now we're permanently connected to his war, whether we want to be or not.
Tough shit.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think that Raven has kind of still tied herself to the whole problem by keeping a maiden there, right? I mean, if she really was like, oh my gosh, I hate being tied to this war, right? Then why the freak are you still in cahoots with a maiden, right? If you really wanted to be out of this whole like war thing, you would send the maiden on on her way, or I mean, at least give him to Crow or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Because a maiden definitely would be still tied into the whole war because of how like important they are to the whole war, I guess you could say. But yeah, I understand. Raven made it sound like something Ozpin did to them. She never mentioned that it was their choice. Beyond that, I have no idea what the big deal is. That said, understood but never agreed. Yeah, I mean, I think Raven's whole idea was just to plant Ozpin as a bad person in Yang and Weiss first, so that no matter what Ozpin says, there's that still questionable idea, like just the idea to question him in the back of their brain because they heard that story first. Therefore, like that's what their mind is centered around. Planting a seed. Yang, no more lies, no more half-truths. Ozpin, very long pause. Understood. That isn't really the same as yes. You are right. Less than a dozen non-villain people in the entire world know about the Maidens and Salem and magic and reincarnation. Oz never intended to tell a bunch of first-year students all of these dangerous secrets, but Crow showed up, with them having already spilled half the beans, and now Raven has spilled more, so he's putting the best face he can on things. Oh gosh! Now that was said out loud, I was like, oh, you know what? You are right. Ozpin has only told like a few people, like in his circle, and then he dies, and then he comes back and finds like 8 more people have been told. Yeah. Without his permission, he's just like, okay, gonna keep going on with it. Thanks. And then a bunch of first years.
First years.
First years.
Just like Harry Potter.
Yeah. Could have chosen like some seniors or.
Nope.
That must have been so bad. And another thing is, I don't know why Yang is so mad at Ozpin about turning them into birds. I mean, it's not like they can't change back. In fact, I would call it a benefit. Even if they don't want to, they can just turn into birds.
Fly away.
Yeah. I just think it's a perk.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless there's like, how like in RPGs you get a perk, but like in very small writing there's like some sort of like cost, like high cost, or you
slow down duration time.
Yeah. I hate that. The issue with becoming birds is more subjective. Crow himself has no issue with it. Raven, however, has no issue with the power to turn into a bird. Rather, it's more to do with her issues for leaving, which will be elaborated on come Volume 6. But in short, it's more how Ozpin's magic ties Raven in some way to Ozpin and makes her feel stuck to him and his war with Salem. At least that is my interpretation.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll also go back to the whole maiden thing. I get that she's keeping, what's her name, Vernal? I think her name is Vernal, which is a maiden. She's keeping her there because, it makes the whole raiding villages and stuff 10 times easier. Because you can just zap, 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 lightning everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So it does make it easier, but is it, if Raven knows, all Ozpin's, all what he's hiding and stuff like that, is she really choosing an ease of raiding villages over the whole war? I'm just saying that's a big thing to be tied to.
True.
Anyways, chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
Last one. Perfect time to confess your feelings to someone checklist. 1. When you've beaten them down and tied them up. 2. When they say they're about to murder their entire family. 3. When you ship them off to the crazy ex-boyfriends. Ilya really is a helpless romantic. Yeah, it is a very, very weird thing to be confessing feelings when you're in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like who does that?
We're gonna watch more anime. I'm pretty sure it's a recurring thing.
Oh, yeah.
They also confirmed Weiss's mother being an alcoholic.
Great.
I can see that. Weiss has definitely grown a lot since Volume 1, but so has Blake, especially as shown in this episode. She learned to trust others enough to let them in and ask them for help when she needs it. They're definitely two of my favorite characters in the series. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Weiss being one of my favorite characters. I know my affinity for liking characters and stuff like that has gone astray, but I definitely think Weiss has become one of my favorite characters, and then maybe Ruby, and I'm not too sure afterwards, but yeah, I think Weiss is. They have made Weiss turned out to be a lot more compassionate and stuff, and I like that.
I'm a Blake Crow fan.
I guess you can kind of push him more towards the gothic,
Okay, yeah.
We're the Crow is
there's more than meets the eye, you know.
Myself,
I build up my walls.
Well, they're both kind of have the same ideas of I need to be by myself in order to keep my loved ones safe. Yeah, they both have that same mindset.
And I could just see myself kicking him a Crow.
Yeah.
Besides the whole bad luck thing, that would probably not work out for my favor.
You want a drink?
You want a drink? Oh no, you just got shot, Nate. Oh my god. What happened?
Well, there goes another one. Oh gosh, I can't. You having a drink, Blake? You want another drink? Oh, your arm's cut off.
Oh my god. That's your boyfriend? Oh, ex-boyfriend? Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
Oh, that's great. Yang has abandonment issues, hence her reaction to Blake leaving without a word.
I know.
Yeah.
But everybody, has got their own demons to fight off,
Mm-hmm. As long as Blake comes back and,
everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
She's going to come back and, it's going to take a little bit, but things are going to be forgiven unless somebody dies.
Yeah. That's better than what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Nothing. I think it's something that we said in this episode. What I just read. Something that we said in that episode.
We need times.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you said the first thing. It's better than what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah, probably. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's coming back to me. I have one of those flashbacks again. I seen that. That'd be great. I love that.
Yeah.
I should just every once in a while just stare off and just have that happen.
Oh man, that'd be horrible editing. I don't think Jacques Schnee there has a meme going on in Volume 7 that he wears a clip-on tie. I can see that. Jacques wearing a clip-on tie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's fancy. Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog here. Weiss's speech was so smart and compassionate. She really gets the dilemma that Blake found herself in, believing that what happened to Yang was her fault because she finally relaxed and let her teammates get close. And she wasn't technically wrong. Adam definitely attacked Yang because it was obvious there was someone who cared a lot about Blake. True. It's easy for Yang to say now that she wouldn't have blamed Blake, but I wonder if it's true. If your evil ex lopped my arm off in order to upset you, then while I was sitting around the house being depressed and full of PTSD, I'd probably resent you at least some.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're right. And also to add on that, you just leaving after, your crazy ex cut off my arm, without, constantly checking up, saying like, hey, are you okay? I feel like, I shows,
Okay.
I would show
All right.
some.
All right. You got me there.
Yeah.
You got me there. I didn't think about it all like that.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, your crazy boyfriend? Oh, he's back? I'll help you out. Oh, my arm's cut off? You leaving? Okay, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
I mean, it wouldn't be exactly that way, but
No,
yeah.
it happened exactly like
okay,
that.
You're right. At 16:30, tomahawk chop with my death blow. Smosh fan, I see. Yes. Did you watch Smosh?
Mosh pit?
No, like Smosh, like the
Smosh?
YouTube channel.
No. Sorry.
Shut up!
Sorry.
No, that was
Oh.
never mind.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite songs they created. I started watching them when they were doing Pokemon in real life. The first or second one, I'm not sure. It was a long time ago.
Interesting. What's it called?
Smosh?
Smosh? That's a YouTube channel thing?
Yeah.
Smosh.
It's crazy how you've not heard of Smosh.
I am old.
They've been around since like 2006.
Boy, I've been around since 1886, alright?
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Gira, a little more armor might help, don't you think?
That's perfect.
Yeah. Can you guys... There's a lot more episodes. Can you guys react to Red versus Blue more often since there's a lot more episodes? We will try.
Yeah.
As soon as I get off of school. Being a bastard.
Beware.
Yeah. The problem is that we work at the same place. They schedule us at separate times.
Yeah.
So he's usually working in the mornings, and I'm usually working at nights. And if I call off one day, more than likely he'll be called in, and vice versa. So, we just try to find times mostly after work.
Yeah, and even, medium there.
Yeah.
So we didn't just start requesting days off.
Yeah, both of us just like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, we can't make it.
Sorry, I can't make it this week.
The whole week. So, oh, sorry.
Imagine how much we get done in a week.
Yeah. We can get a lot done.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, back to it.
Weiss to the rescue. Now I'm imagining her being married by the priest in The Princess Bride. Remember, the majority of any population have never unlocked their aura, hence being taken down with one punch or shot. One punch! You don't get that. Anyways.
Nope, sorry.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. How most of the population hasn't gained their aura and stuff like that. It's usually like the hunters and huntresses.
Gotcha.
So here's just some bits of info for you. Blake escapes the webs by pushing herself forward with a clone left behind. Those two Fox idiots were actually the original antagonists of Volume 1, with Roman as a one-note villain to introduce the world, but became so popular in test screenings of the first episode that they reworked him into the script. Imagine Volume 1 with these guys instead of Roman.
Nope.
No. You know what?
I hate those guys.
Yeah. Very annoying. Ghira is a Black Panther faunus based on Bagheera from the Jungle Book, same as Sienna Khan as Shere Khan. Oh, how did I not think of that? Also from the Jungle Book. And then the Bumblebee fanatics love this episode, which is the episode. This is the episode where Yang was like ranting to Weiss about like Blake leaving her and stuff like that. You know what? I could definitely agree of how you can kind of what's the word? Argue about Yang's feelings for Blake being genuine and heartfelt.
No.
But yeah, that was all the comments for episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. Keep on leaving comments. We love reading them. Even if we don't get the chance to record our reactions to these readings,
we do check them out.
We do check them no matter what.
No matter
and
what.
you help us understand the world a little bit better.
Yes.
Okay. So anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gracias.
If you liked our... it's not a reaction. Comment reading. Like and subscribe. Yeah. And if you guys want us to know a little bit more about Ruby, put it in the comment section down below.
Right down there.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye.